Everyone is still playing by the old agency rulebook that was taught 2 to 3 years ago, and those systems are clearly outdated. There is a massive shift going on today in terms of marketing and outreach for business owners, for agencies, and for people in the online space. Cold outreach, having VAs send 400 plus emails a day and wondering why no one is actually biting or converting into book calls, that method is completely dead. In this video, I'm gonna show you the exact system that allowed me to build a multiple six-figure agency at the age of 18 and generate multiple seven figures in client profits, as well as be able to consistently book 10 to 15 calls a week with my organic content system, no ads, purely an organic strategy that has been able to work for me. And I'm not saying it's gonna work for you, but at least take this information with this video with a grain of salt and implement some of these systems and actually tailor it to you and your brand and take some of the content from this video and integrate it in your business today, because the old method is completely outdated and not many people are actually teaching this new method of outreach and marketing through organic content. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And before we get right into it, this is actually a case study of my client who I landed using this exact system, and he was able to open multiple new gym locations for his business, integrating this organic content strategy within his business. So I'll pop that up right here. The first two meta ad campaigns were running for his brand, and as you can see, 29 leads at $5 a day. So that adds out to around $4.38 per lead. So hear from the man himself.
You know, honestly, I was very against running ads and kind of going over social media at first because I just had, a bad experience in the past and it didn't really work out. So, but when I met Jaden and when I met Adam and their team, and they kind of told me what it's going to take to get to that next level, I was like, let's give it a shot. So we did start, just organic posting, building our brand, and then we went into running ads. And honestly, it's turned around my business. The change I've seen, the amount of leads we get in, the amount of growth we've had in the past, I want to say 3 months now that we've been working together is astronomical. I couldn't have done it by myself. I've recommended them to every business owner I know, and they've helped build my brand in the online space and in our physical locations tremendously. So it's just been great, working with someone so young and understanding each other, and the drive and us pushing each other to get to that next level is something really cool.
The exact content system that I use to book 10 to 15 calls a week. So these are some stats. So everyone's inbox is nuked. There are so many people doing outreach every single day that it's going to be hard for these businesses, and the probability of these business owners actually seeing your message has gone drastically lower. So every business owner has been pitched at least 1,000 times in their DMs, being cold called. And yes, this is a good method to, if you have the volume, if you have the capacity to get your first client, this is a very viable method. But to scale, this gets a little bit harder because of the amount of competition there is. With sending these cold messages and making these cold calls, there is definitely a massive influx of competition in that space. So we're gonna go over the exact alternative you can use that is more accurate and will actually eliminate that entire sales process. Buyers have shifted. They want proof, not promises, which means you have to constantly be exercising and showing your proof on social media and building a personal brand that allows people to recognize you and be like, okay, that is the most trusted person in this space, based on he's constantly giving value, he's constantly posting client results on his story, and he's constantly showing us what he's doing, how he's doing it, who he's doing it for. This is the person that's going to win in that space, rather than the person who hires VAs or does 10,000 cold calls a month is not going to be able to compete with someone constantly posting value. And who knows, one of those videos of him posting value from one of his client results could go viral and get him 10,000 leads, and that's all the leads he needs for the year. Trust is the new currency. You win by showing competence, not claiming competence. A lot of people make the mistake of, when they're just starting their business, yes, you can provide value. Yes, you can actually show people how you do it, but you want to basically give something for free, showing the competence that you understand whatever your niche industry is or whatever business you're targeting in terms of the industry. You want to just show them that they understand. You want to show that you can speak their language and actually make videos tailored to them and actually speak their language and show competence, which means you show you understand how to market for them. You show proof. You show why you're doing that system so they understand it and it makes sense for them to actually go out and actually take the time to DM you, which will eliminate that cold outreach portion of the sales process. Business owners do not want to be convinced. They want to recognize you as the person who solves their exact problem, which goes into what I just said here, showing competence, which is actually going in and making videos tailored to them and solving that industry's main problem. And you can do that by actually looking up and studying that industry and being like, okay, this part of that marketing system is very underserved. I'm going to make videos educating people on either why their current agency is doing it wrong or just how to make it easier and eliminate some of their expenses in that sales process or the client acquisition process. The new agency model on how we actually acquire clients. So the new agency model consists of a content machine, authority assets, which are basically just showing proof of what you've been able to do for clients, story CTAs of you actually producing these leads and results for these industries, and then just a simple offer. If you want this done for you, book a free call. We have a strategy ready to present to you on how we can integrate this in your industry or in your business to help bring you in an extra 15 to 20 calls a month. Does that sound good? Book them on that call, show them the strategy, and actually get into detail on how you can help them and build trust with that prospect. But the trust starts from them actually following you. The trust starts from them actually engaging in your content and actually being able to implement some of the free value you've been giving in your content. So long form content, YouTube is a trust builder. There is a stat that the longer time people spend with you, and YouTube is a long form platform, the longer time people spend with you, the more trust they build. If they're looking up on Google or YouTube or ChatGPT videos that can help them with X marketing strategy, and you're one of those people that pop up and they end up watching your 15 to 20 minute video breaking down in detail, they most likely don't have the time to go in and implement that. So they're going to inherently reach out to you and actually book that call with you because you just solved an entire problem of theirs that they haven't been able to solve for their business in a long time. So this is very important. The longer time they spend with you, the more and more they trust you. Piggybacking off of the long form aspect, if you look at Alex Hormozi and all of these big, massive influencers, they're not going in and just filming short form content. They're filming a whole entire podcast. They're filming a whole entire hour-long YouTube video, editing that up, and then cutting it up into 30 to 50 clips to where now they have 2 months of content worth from one 5-hour content session. So not only is it easier for you as an agency owner to build this trust with long form, it eliminates the time you have to spend creating short form content. It's very important though that you understand the short form content distribution, which is when you make these long form videos and actually cut them up, you need to make sure there are key distinctions in that video that make them want to go and watch the long form, or at least provide enough value to make them go on your page and view your other videos giving them value. The most important part of any marketing now, cold outreach is dead, cold calls are dead. Case studies are the most important thing that you're going to need because it's actually, you want to frame it almost like a podcast. If you're doing a video with one of your clients, you don't want to be like, see how my client made X in 30 days. You want to say, this business integrated this marketing system and was able to 10x their business's sales. That's how you want to structure it. It's not clickbait. It makes people actually click and watch it as, oh wow, they're not trying to sell me something, they're trying to educate on someone in my industry who succeeded with this system, which will inherently make them actually want to go forward with you and integrate your system that you propose in that video. So your lead magnets are exactly what we just went over up here. Long form content, short form content, and case studies. These are your main lead magnets that you're eventually going to have to nurture. For example, if someone follows you and you see they followed you, Instagram will show you from which reel. If it's from a value reel, you're just going to send them a quick DM saying, hey, what made you actually reach out to me today? What piece of that video actually made you be like, okay, I want to follow him and learn more? This is how you nurture those leads. You need to have a clear offer as well to actually implement a conversion mechanism, as well as you don't need, like it says right here, 100 clips a week. You need one piece of long form content that shows you're legit. Then you slice it up and let the algorithm bring buyers to you. Yes, you can have VAs. Yes, you can have all these sales team and setters integrated in your business to actually do this cold outreach, but this is what you should focus on to bring higher intent buyers and be able to mitigate that sales process to even maybe close them in the DMs, which is super important and actually eliminates that time in the sales process. Here's the exact content system that I'm using right now that actually books me 10 to 15 calls a week. So I create weekly short form videos, 10 to 15 minutes, which is solving a problem that my client is either Googling or is looking up on ChatGPT, and you find this out by obviously asking AI and doing your research on that industry. What is the main marketing flaw that this industry is experiencing that they're not able to actually solve? You want to solve that in a long form video. Show real examples of YouTube Miro boards, ads, and funnels, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm basically solving a problem for you guys right now, which is exactly what you're going to do for these clients in whatever industry you're in, whatever business you're in, to actually integrate a marketing system. You're showing exactly how you integrated this marketing system and basically explaining it at a level that a kindergartner can understand, so it's a no-brainer for them to at least follow you and show interest in what you're actually offering and how you're actually offering it. This actually builds authority. Showing these frameworks in these videos builds authority within your market. And when you start speaking their language and actually solving a problem that your client is actively searching to solve, this builds your authority within the market. So if they don't go with you, they're going to be sharing your videos with other people saying, look at this, have you thought of this? Have you actually thought of integrating this system? I wonder if this works. Do you know anyone else that's integrating this? And it builds that lore and that authority of your agency or your business in that space. So if you were to shoot a long form video, this is exactly how I would chop it into 15 to 20 short form videos. You want to have 5 value clips that go on your feed, 5 story clips that are a little bit shorter, but actually have a CTA to go watch the full video, 5 proof clips of actually how you integrated the system that you're teaching in this video, and then 5 call to action clips of where you're actually providing a consensus of the offer and actually showing people how to integrate it, and then having the call to action say, if you want to implement this in your business today, DM the word, whatever the video is about. My short form content isn't random. It's geared towards every single business. And the whole thesis behind my long form content is purely just to build trust. I am positioning myself as the expert. And the whole goal is obviously to push someone to book a call with me, but the more you can focus on the inputs of becoming the expert, becoming someone with authority in your market, that is when people are just gonna start DMing you and flooding you with wanting to get on calls with you because you're constantly giving value and speaking their language and solving a real problem in that market. So I added some daily distribution for you guys on where the main platforms are you should post. Obviously this should be known, but if you guys don't know, these are the most high converting: IG Reels, Instagram Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. That is where you should basically post your short form content. All 3 of these platforms. YouTube is more for views, IG is more for conversions, and Shorts is just good to build your viewership on YouTube and to make people watch that whole entire long form video on YouTube. So we talked a little bit earlier in this video about case studies, and I'm going to explain exactly what you want to do when posting these. So this should build an entire authority layer. You're not going for views with this video. You're going to build authority, because let's say 100 people watch it, 10 people watch the whole video, and 2 people book calls with you. That's all we want. That's a very good conversion rate based on 100 views. And you basically, what you want to show is maybe the behind the scenes of a client shoot, a behind the scenes on how your process actually works. Obviously, you want to go into some client messages on maybe, hey, I love what you're doing with me. I just 10x my business. Like just some good messages that your clients are sending you to show people, wow, he really built some trust with his clients and he's actually really delivering these results. Because you can't fake a message from a client. And then screenshots of ads. So this is very important, showing the results that you're getting on the story. We talked about story CTAs and actually integrating this, and showing screenshots of the ads that you're actually producing is so incredibly important, because hey, what if you had a winning ad and you generate, for me, I had a client that got 100 leads at $2 a day. Obviously, I'm going to post that. I got 4 leads from that story CTA, and I keep reusing it because the leads keep going up because it's a winning ad. And this shows credibility in your space, especially if you're an agency, just posting your results from the ads that you're getting on your story and saying, hey, if you're in X industry, whatever the industry it is, do you want results like this? We've booked around 100 calls for this business in the last 30 days. If you want to see how this can work in your business, drop the Calendly link as a CTA, and it's that simple. But being consistent with the CTAs, being consistent with the stories, and actually just showing people your results, because chances are they don't know about you. Even if you're giving free value on YouTube, it's very important that you're constantly showing your clients results, because that just builds more trust. And the only thing that is stopping someone if they get on the call with you and they're already interested in integrating a marketing system is trust. That's it. This is your simple conversion vehicle. So number one, this is exactly what you're gonna do based on what we talked about above to actually attract these people. So you're gonna hit them with story CTAs, like if you want 3 to 5 extra clients a month, watch this. One Calendly link, one offer, one onboarding process, and this is basically the content in that long form video. And people don't book because you have 10 links. They book because you have one clear path. So within this video, it's explaining one clear path to all these processes to actually make them being like, okay, I want to limit these clicks for my buyers. I want to integrate this system to have maybe one funnel that leads them directly to the booking link and just cut down that sales process, integrating this system, because that can benefit a lot of businesses. They can save a lot of money on, let's say, setters or people that have to warm up these leads, and they just book right in from the credibility from the organic content. And guys, based on everything we went over in this video, this is exactly how you're going to start today, and I advise to act with speed because this system has completely changed my business. Step 1 is record a 10-minute YouTube video. Step 2, extract at least 15 to 20 clips and post it on IG Reels, Facebook, and post it on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts with all the CTAs we already went over in this video. Post them daily. You guys want to be top of mind, top of funnel, and the algorithm actually promotes consistency within their feed. And you'll also be able to get back data on what posts and what versions in terms of how your post looks, in terms of the format, when to add the CTA, when not to add a CTA. It's actually going to promote you in the algorithm, and your views will go up if you stay consistent. And same with the lead. You want to add a CTA in every single third post. So obviously, like I said, you don't want to add a CTA off of every single reel or every single short and TikTok you add, because oversaturating your CTAs are not good for business in terms of if they see a CTA on every single video, it becomes boring and people stop taking action. But if you have a banger video for your third post and you actually just add a CTA, that allows the algorithm and your people to be like, okay, this is important, and it just doesn't oversaturate the CTAs, if that makes sense. Drop a comment down below if you have a question on that. Step 5, build actual case studies. So it is so incredibly important for you guys to understand that case studies are what's going to build trust. They don't necessarily build views. You're not going for views when posting case studies, but you do want to formulate it in not a clickbait style, but in terms of when you're filming a long form YouTube video of your case study, you just want to show credibility and you want to frame it as like a podcast. How this business owner went from 30K to 150K a month. That is probably the best way you can format that, and of course people want to see that. But within that video, you're actually going to be having them talk about how they integrated your system and succeeded with that. So it's almost like reverse psychology to make them click on that ad. Step 7 is now to create a simple offer. And if you guys want me to create a full video on how to create an amazing offer, comment down below and I'll create a whole video on how to create the offer. But this is basically it. Obviously, every business owner knows how to create an offer and sell it. It's like, hey, business owner, I'll get you 20 book calls at X rate or you don't pay. Or we can go more into detail if you guys want me to break down my exact agency's offer. But overall, that is my entire content system that's been able to book me 10 to 15 calls a week and consistently bring me in lead flow, eliminating the setter process and actually just having people book themselves and come to me because I've established authority in the market. So if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to share it to someone who would benefit from this value and hit the subscribe button. I'll be uploading very consistently and continuously providing value to you guys. But I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.